What's good, everybody? I am back and with actual car footage this time. Well, we have a couple sales today, and I hope to find some good stuff. It's been really slow garage sale season at this point. These past couple weeks have been really slow. Not to mention there's been a lot going on. Haven't really been going out a lot, but it's alright because I'm out now, and right now there's two sales that are advertising games, and they were specific too. Like, they have some Nintendo, they have some Xbox, so I'm fingers crossed with this one. Alright, so the first sale I went to, advertised games. It said it was a moving sale and everything. However, they took pictures of like everything that was for sale, and the thing is they opened their garage door and they said, okay, we're ready or whatever, and it was just everything that was in the garage, which was really confusing because in the ad there were pictures of an entertainment center, and it had two stacks of Nintendo 64 games. So that was my big thing. I was really excited to come see that, and then they just opened up their garage and all there was some stuff. But in the back corner, there was a bunch of DS stuff and everything. However, I did pick up two games, and they had them for $15, which seems a bit pricey, but I got a little treat because of it. The first one I picked up was for the DS, of course, Final Fantasy Tactics A2, Grimoire of the Rift, which I keep hearing the tactics games are always phenomenal, so picked that up. But then I picked up, and this is what made it worth it, picked up a copy of Pokemon Pearl, and if I can do this with one hand, when I opened it up, not only was it complete, but it has a copy of Pokemon Sapphire in it. So to have all those for $25 was not bad. I talked them down to $25, taking $5 off the price. You can't lose there. So I do have one more sale that I'm absolutely going to, but I'm going to hit up a bunch on the way, and we'll see what happens, guys, all right? Let's keep that hunting spirit alive. All right, guys, so nothing really new in the Nintendo video game world as far as garage sales. The one sale I'm waiting on doesn't open till 9, and I passed by it. It looks like a complete ghost town, so I'm kind of really hoping that it's just they didn't do anything for it until 9 o'clock, because it says it's supposed to open at 9, so I'm really hoping that they open up at 9 o'clock, and I can just go and see what they got. But I did stop to a couple sales, and in this box here, I did pick up this. It says it's for an iPad mini, but they wrote iPod Shuffle on it. It has a $7 tag on there, but however, for $7, I did pick up this iPod Shuffle. But she also had this awesome Space Invaders plug and play. I thought that was really cool, and I got them both for $7. So I thought that was really neat, and the plug and play looks really cool. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with plug and play Space Invaders. So, yeah, that's really been it. But let's go to the sale and hope that they open up. All right, well, this is basically the end of the garage selling for me. So that second sale that I really was looking to go to, advertised Wii and Xbox stuff. I think it just said Nintendo stuff too, but she didn't really have anything other than a black Wii with a bunch of accessories and charging stations. She wanted $25 for all of it, which isn't a bad deal. I personally don't need a Wii. I actually have two of them, technically. My best friend has the red one, who lives with me. She has the red one, and then I have my white one from when it first came out. So even though it was black, and I like the black a lot better than the white, I didn't really need it, and really didn't feel like trying to flip it to make like $10, because that's probably all I would be able to make. But however, I was talking with her. Apparently she remembers me from when I was in a in the Rock Band. I sound like I'm from the game. In the Rock Band that I was a part of back in the late 2000s. So we were chit-chatting a little bit, but she did have this cool little Navi. I forgot what these are, like special beads or something. Apparently she made this herself. I thought it was really cool. I picked that up for $1. And then she also let me go away with a Nintendo brand Wii controller for just $2. So you can't really complain with that. Not at all. And then there was also a box of like a bunch of CDs. And she just said they're free. You could take one. I did find this random. It looks like it's a Mighty Mighty Boss Tone CD. For those of you who know who they are. It looks like theirs, except there's a copy of Tensu Stealth Assassins for the PlayStation in there. It doesn't look like it plays, but for free, maybe buff it, see if it works. There's a bunch of scratches on the back, and it just looks dirty as hell, but she was just looking to get rid of it, so I took it. And like I said, this is probably it, unless if I find some sales on the way and actually find something. Let's go to the recap. What's going on, party people out there in YouTube? This is Ryan. I'm coming at you with the recap of these past 2 weekends of garage selling, because there hasn't really been a lot, and I don't really feel like showing a video with only 3 or 4 things in it like I did last time. I think I did it last time. I don't know. Whatever. So, we're going to get right into it. So we have, not this weekend's, the one that I'm currently in, and you're probably watching this weeks later. But this past weekend, I went out to a couple sales. There wasn't much. However, I did go out to Syracuse to the flea market, and I met up with a friend. His name is Nate, and he is from the Sprite Lovers. Down below, definitely check out that channel. But before we get to that, let's go over the stuff that I actually found at garage sales for good prices. There wasn't much, like I said. However, I went to... I actually didn't even mean to hit up the sale, but I was getting my car fixed. The check engine light was on, and after they figured out it was like a sensor thing, they were just like, okay, now you got to drive it for a while and then bring it back without shutting the car off. So I was like, okay, let's see how I can make this work. And I kept passing by garage sales on the way. I figured I'd leave my car running and make it work that way. And at one sale I went to, these people said they didn't have any video game things until I walked up to the table and they had some video game accessories. The only one I ended up picking up was this Nintendo GameCube memory card. I almost forgot what it was called. You can never have too many of these, especially because I really feel like the Nintendo GameCube is one of the greatest systems to come out of Nintendo. Very underrated, and like I said, you can never have too many of these. I do already have 2, maybe 3 of them, so I think I'll end up giving this to a friend who could use it. But then I believe this probably came before that, but anyway, another sale I went to, advertised video games. They had a lot of PS2 stuff, nothing really good. They had a really, really destroyed copy of Metroid Prime, and it didn't have its manual, and I really need the manual for my copy, and it was, even for $1, especially because it was so scratched on the disc, I didn't even really want to take my chances with it. So, but there was a PSP game, a loose one, unfortunately. I don't collect for the PSP, maybe later down the line. But I did pick this up because I'm a sucker for this game. And I'm really, really, really looking for the Super Nintendo copy. But that is Bomberman for the PSP. It's loose. It looks like it's in good shape. So I picked that up for $1. And then at that same sale, there were also two guides, and again, keeping with the spirit, well, keeping with the spirit of E3, considering that just ended like a week ago, and people are still ranting about it, including myself, or at least at the time. Like I said, you're probably watching this 2 weeks later, because I can't seem to record these and get these out quick enough. But I did find a nice, decent looking strategy guide for Shenmue. And I am not a Shenmue fan. Not that I can't be, but I've never actually really played Shenmue. You can yell at me if you want, but it does look like a lot of fun. I definitely picked up the guide, though, because at this point in that garage sale week, I was like, I gotta find something. And I happened to pick the two guides up for, these two guides for, I think, $1 a piece, maybe $1.50, I don't remember. But then this one I thought was really cool. I kind of wish it was for the one for the Super Nintendo, but can't win them all, Hasselhoff. But this is Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance. And this one's in, like, the best of condition. It's super clean. It's the official Nintendo Power guide, or guide from Nintendo Power. So I thought that was super cool. Alright, went to the flea market. I didn't find much there. There was one guy selling NES games, and he let me skate away with 4 of them for $10, which is pretty good. I don't find NES games out in the wild anymore, like at garage sales anyway. Flea markets are different. There's people who pick this stuff up and then they try to sell them for whatever. But anyway, so I did pick up, these are all commons, but I don't have them for my collection, so I think I will be keeping them. And we got Jaws. They originally said $5 on it, but he said he's had them a while, wanted to get rid of them. This one's Fester's Quest. He had 7 on this one. This is a terrible game that I remember. I don't know why he had $7 on it. Platoon. And then what I thought might be the best one of the bunch, and it also, I think it's like Doctor Who before Doctor Who was around, which actually doesn't sound right at all either. But that's Time Lord. And it's weird because I did think that this was kind of like a Doctor Who game, except it was called Time Lord. The only difference is he's got a spacesuit kind of deal on, and he wields a sword. It's not the sonic screwdriver or whatever, but these 4 for $10, I'll take that. Maybe one day I'll find another 4 for $10, and they're much better games. I don't know. Okay, now to continue on, we also, like I said, I met up with my friend Nate. He's from the Sprite Lovers. Check him out. And while we were out, we went to store in the mall, and which I also had my friend BP with me, and I was literally staring and debating getting this game almost the entire time I was there. The minute I saw it, that was the only thing that was on my mind, and I really wanted it. It was one of my wanted games for the Super Nintendo. I used to play it a lot as a kid, had a lot of nostalgia. Plus, it actually holds up well, and believe it or not, it's a sports title. However, it's not a typical sports title, and after staring at it long enough, BP said, well, I didn't get you anything for your birthday, so I'm just going to buy it for you. And I understood. I was taking too long to think about buying it. It was $20. And this one is Looney Tunes B-Ball on the Super Nintendo. It took a long time for me to find this. I'm obviously not in the Syracuse area enough because that's where everything is. I do understand, like, maybe some prices are a little steeper out there, but $20 for this game isn't too bad. I mean, it's probably about what it's worth now. But this was actually a really fun game, and technically I got it for free because I got it as a birthday present from my friend Bill. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Bill. I can knock that title off my list. But then next we went to Voltage Video Games. If there's anything to link to, I will link it down below as well. And I picked up quite a few things. Nothing earth-shattering. However, when I saw this stuff, I was like, I don't think I'm going to find it for a better price. But first, just as a cute little thing, I definitely had to pick this up because this is my favorite game of all time. It's a magnet for Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. I fell in love with this the minute I saw it, and I really thought to myself, I'm definitely picking this up. I had seen this at my local game store. However, I held off on it because I'm very picky about how much I spend for my games. And I happened to find this one at Voltage for cheaper. So I'm really glad I held out on it. Plus, it's complete. It's Final Fantasy III on the Nintendo DS. It looks great. It looks like it's in wonderful condition. And now I can play this one on the go, which will be nice. And then last but not least, for the Wii U, I picked up an accessory, one that's extremely hard to find, but there are people out there who are making bank because this is an off-brand of it. So there are companies out there that are making bank on this because Nintendo didn't release enough of them, and I think you know what I'm talking about. That is the GameCube compatible controller adapter. So, and I only picked this up now, not having Smash Brothers for the Wii U, because I paid $20, I think, for this. The Nintendo ones were going for $39.99. Maybe one day I'll get a Nintendo brand one. I'm a fan of collecting anything Nintendo branded, but when I get Smash Brothers for the Wii U, you cannot play Smash Brothers on anything but a GameCube controller, in my eyes. That was another reason why the GameCube was so great, and most of the times I would go to Melee instead of, like, Brawl. But, I mean, you could play Brawl with a GameCube controller anyway, so that didn't really matter. But definitely pick that up for when I do get Smash Brothers. It's a puppy. Hi, puppy. Okay. Now we're going to skip forward to the next week, which is the week I'm in right now. I had 2 sales that I absolutely had to get to, all advertising games, but I did hit up a bunch around afterwards, here and there I went. And I actually found a decent amount of stuff for only going to 2 sales, and I only picked up like a couple things from the sales that I meant to go to. But then I kept going around and I found some other stuff. However, I'm going to go first off with the thing that's not game related from this week. I went to a sale. I went to a sale that was randomly on the way of my trip, and I found it's in this iPad mini case, but it's an iPod Shuffle. And she had $7 as a sticker on there, and I asked her if she'd take $5 for it. But also on my way out, I had asked her if she had any other video game stuff. She had a, I'm trying to open this thing, but it's being difficult. I also asked if she had any video game stuff, because she did have a Rock Band controller for the Wii. And I asked her if she had any other video game stuff, and she said no. However, she had this nice little plug and play, and I asked her if what she wanted for it, and she said $2. It's a Space Invaders plug and play, and this just looks awesome. I really like this thing. I'm actually gonna give it a shot. I don't have Space Invaders on any of my consoles, even though if I wanted to, I could go to my local game store and pick up a box copy for the Super Nintendo, which I probably will end up doing because it's been there for a while, and I'm sure the owner would like to get rid of it at this point. But I finally got this open. It was this nice blue iPod Shuffle, and it came with like a little small cord here. It came with headphones, which I probably will not use because that sounds a little gross. And then the thing that plugs into the wall, the power adapter thing, it has not been used. The thing's still on it. All that for $7, including the plug and play. You can't beat that. That's such a great. Okay, moving on. We have that was one of the random sales. One of the sales I went to advertised Wii stuff, and it said Nintendo and Xbox 360 stuff, but the only thing they really had was the Wii. It was a Wii with accessories and stuff. It was all $25. I could have picked it up, but I didn't really want to spend the money on that just so I could flip it and make maybe $10, because the Wii right now, there's so many of them, you'd be lucky to get it for $35. I was chit-chatting with her here and there, but I asked her if she would skate away with one of these Wiimotes, which she did, and that was really cool of her to do that. She didn't have to. There was a second one in there. I never, as much as I would really love to just have all these Wiimotes and stuff like that and just pick them all up, if they're selling it as a bundle, I will never ever ask them to part with the one controller left in the bundle. But if there's ever like 2 or 3 of them, I'll say, hey, would you mind letting me have one of them, because I could use the new one, because I can always use Wiimotes. Especially Nintendo brands, you can't go wrong there. Had a bunch of CDs, she was just looking to get rid of it, and there was a disc copy of Tensu Stealth Assassins for the PS1. No idea if it's going to work. It looks like it's in pretty crappy shape, but why not? Give it a shot. The other sale that I really was gonna go to, they were selling some Nintendo stuff though, a lot of DS games and stuff. They wanted like 15 each for the DS games in their cases. That's a little much, but I did find 2 that I picked up, and I asked them if they'd take 25 for the 2, and the kid said yes. And I mainly picked it up because he did a little goof, and I caught him slipping on it. So this was actually a really good deal. The first game I found, and I've been wanting to play this one, but I don't have any sort of copy of it. It's Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift. I believe that's how you say it. Final Fantasy Tactics games, I keep being told, are phenomenal. They're strategy RPGs, I believe, and they look cool. I do eventually want to get the PS1 version of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I could have at Voltage even, but they had it for 15, and I feel like I can go back there after I trade in some stuff for store credit, and I could pick it up later. So I left it. I picked up the things that I really wanted to get, and the things I thought were a little more important. Okay, and then besides from that one, I also picked up a copy of Pokemon Pearl. Now, normally I wasn't even going to buy these at all, but this was the ace in the hole that told me I'm going to try to make way with this. And he let me go with it, and this one is complete. However, there's something different about this case, because there's another game in there, and it happens to be a Game Boy Advance game, and if you couldn't read it, it's Pokemon Sapphire for the Game Boy Advance. I was super thrilled. And this was their goof up. They didn't go through and make sure that all their games were in there, and not to mention, they didn't even go through to make sure that all the games were, there was only the game that was supposed to be in there, and it was by freak accident, because I picked this up, and I was sitting there debating on getting it, and I was like, you know what, I really need to open it, make sure that it's complete, and then Sapphire was in it, so I was like, let's see if I can make a deal for $25 for those 2. I thought was okay. I was going to talk them down a little more, and then when I opened the case, saw Sapphire, I'm like, I'd pay $25 for those 3. So for those 3 games, $25, really good deal. Feel kind of shady doing it sometimes, like that, but you know what? That was on them. So, yep. I feel like a douchebag now. Okay, last thing. This was literally down the street from me, so I went there on my way home, and I might actually be going back there at some point tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because I'm working today at noon. But anyway, I picked up a couple other things, or I went to this one sale, I'm sorry, and they happened to have these 2 things out, and I thought they were really, really cool, and I think they're totally worth it, because I love all sorts of display piece type deals, and this was just super cool. This is for the Nintendo DS. It's like a little display. In these slots here, you could fit Nintendo DS's, and then as you can see here, there's little rivets you could put in your loose DS games, and I'll also even throw in 3DS games in there. I thought that was super cool, and you can carry it. Just carry it nice and easy. I thought that was super cool. I picked that up for $2, and then I also threw this in there. It's like a little charging station for your 3DS. I mean, it doesn't charge it for you because you have to plug it in. Oh, I dropped it. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. So yeah, you put your 3DS in here. I think I have my 3DS right. There it is. For those of you who don't have any idea, you just put your 3DS right in there, just like that. And when you plug in your charger right there, it'll charge for you. But it just looks really cool. It's kind of like a little pedestal to put the 3DS on. I thought that was super cool. For $3, I'll take that. But that is it. No, it's not. I'm sorry. No, it's not. That's it for the garage sales. That was it for the garage sales. However, I did pick up something from Craigslist. This is my first time picking up something from Craigslist in a while. And I couldn't really beat this. I saw on Craigslist someone advertising a Nintendo and games for $35. That's actually pretty cheap already. However, hey, no barking. No barking. It's really cheap because, like, my game store right now is selling it for just the system with controllers and the hookups for $100. It's a lot. I don't want to pay that. However, this guy was only charging $35. I asked him if he'd take $25, and he said yes. It's just collecting dust. I want to get rid of it. This, however, did not come with controllers, and it only came with the coaxial and not the power brick. But it's an original Nintendo. The toaster. I actually, believe it or not, do not have a toaster. When I picked up my NES back, I actually got a top loader. I was lucky. I hit up a top loader. I believe I got that for like $35 or something, and it came with a few games. Kind of the same deal here, except they had controllers as well. This one did not have any controllers. It was just this, and unfortunately the top is cracked right here of the door cover, but it looks decent otherwise, and $25 even for this is a pretty good deal. But it also came with 3 games. Commons, but you know what? They're games. I'm not going to complain about that. And of course, there's Silent Service, which I hear is super common just about everywhere. Honestly, until I started collecting, I'd never heard of Silent Service. It's not a good game. Not in my opinion. We got Acclaim's Star Voyager. And then we also have a copy, and this was actually kind of cool. I played this for a little bit. This was kind of fun. Mad Max for the Nintendo. Like I said, it came with the coaxial cable and everything. It even came with a zapper. But that is it, guys. That is the end of it. Please hit that like button if you could. Comment down below and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And also check out Voltage Video Games and the Sprite Lovers. I leave links down below as I keep pointing and pointing and pointing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys take care, alright? What?